One of the movies that's in theaters right now that I surprisingly love, like I thought the trailers looked good and it's Sam Raimi, so I was excited about it. But you know, you never know how a movie's going to turn out. But I'll tell you what, Send Help, it delivered. It delivered on every level. It was horrifying at times, tense almost always, hilarious in moments, very true to Sam Raimi's forte. And Dylan O'Brien was great, and good Canadian girl Rachel McAdams was outstanding. And the two of them had great chemistry together. I loved the movie. I had a really good time. I don't know if this is going to end up in my top 5 favorite of the year or anything like that, but I had a really good time with it. I thought it was a well-executed movie. And is often the case in today's cinematic world, there was some doubt about whether Send Help was actually going to get to play in theaters. As a matter of fact, Sam Raimi just told the story that he actually had to fight the studio and take his movie away from Run Studio because they wanted to produce it and then dump it straight to streaming. But he held out and he got it in theaters, and I'm awfully glad they did. This comes to us from the folks over at The Wrap, who says, this is Sam Raimi talking, saying, we tried to get financing different ways, but then COVID hit. So they've been trying to get this made for a while. But then COVID hit, and the studio at the time, which was Sony, said, we can't make this as a theatrical film. We could make it as a lower budget controlled streaming film. Raimi explained. He then told the studio that he wasn't interested in the movie showing up directly on streaming. I don't mean to be a snob, but I'm designing this as an audience experience. I wanted the interaction of the theater to make it work because I know that flavor and I need that. I design my movies to play upon the audience in the theater. I really do. I think it's a different approach you take, Raimi said, telling this to the executives at Sony. Now, it's not as prevalent anymore. But if you guys even just go back a couple of years, it seemed like every studio thought streaming was everything now. That's the future. Everything is going to be streaming. Because, of course, the pandemic hit and everybody was stuck at home. And so everybody had nothing to do except play Animal Crossing and watch streaming content. That's all they did. And some good things came out of that. I mean, we have a lot of people who watched The Godfather for the very first time because they were stuck at home. We had a lot of people who watched like the Lord of the Rings movies for the first time. Was during the pandemic, being stuck at home. And that's great. But for a period of time, it seemed like every single studio was looking to streaming. Now, very quickly after the pandemic, it became apparent that that philosophy was never going to work. But still, there was this underlying philosophy. A lot of times, studios and production companies will look at projects and say, well, this is going to be a streaming thing. But now you have some filmmakers. Tom Cruise has done this in the past. Others have done it as well. But now also add Sam Raimi to that, which is like, no. This is a movie. It's meant to be communicated to an audience member in a crowd. It's meant to play off the crowd. And if you've seen Send Help, if you have seen this movie, you know there are moments in the movie where like people in the audience are like clenching up and going, ah, and like freaking out in the theater at certain things that are happening on screen. You do that alone at home on the same couch you sit your fat ass on every single night after night after night. We're just watching the same screen that you do night after night after night. You watch it. This movie does not have remotely the same impact. It's still a great movie. Don't get me wrong. But Sam Raimi is 1,000% right. Sam Raimi is 1,000% right. This movie, true films are designed to be played to an audience where we feel the energy of what's happening on screen through other people. And yes, I can sit on my fat ass at home night after night in the same exact spot, in the same exact position, just click whatever. Yeah, you can do that. But then you're not getting the full effect of what the movie is. And to Sam Raimi, that was so important. Like, think about it this way, guys. Think about it in these terms. How many filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers, even some established ones who are trying to get their next project done, would have a studio say to them, okay, we're ready to make this, but just so you know, we're going to be putting it to direct to streaming. 95% of filmmakers would go, okay, cool. Just as long as I can get financing and as long as I can make my movie. But to somebody like Sam Raimi, that's not good enough. Sam Raimi's like, no. This is designed to be on a screen. This is designed to play for an audience that's surrounded by other people. And again, I stand by this. While if I watch Send Help sitting on my fat ass on my regular couch at home, it's still a great movie. It still is. Don't misinterpret me. But it doesn't play nearly as well as when you watched it with an audience. I know for me, watching it with an audience completely elevated my viewing experience of it. And Sam Raimi knows that. And Sam Raimi fought for it. And it meant this film getting delayed for years, but he got it made. And I'm glad that he did. Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of today's episode, PrizePicks. Well, the big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than with PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. With the football season coming to a close, this is your last chance to jump into football action before next year, and PrizePicks is making it easy by giving you $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. What I've always loved about PrizePicks is how simple it is. You're just picking more or less on player projections, building your lineup, and rooting at home while you watch the game. I also really like their early payouts feature. If a player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game even ends. And with the new social feed, you can follow other players, copy lineups that you like, or use them as inspiration for your own. So don't miss out. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. So yeah, question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Sam Raimi coming out and saying he actually turned down the studio's offer to make his movie and to put it on streaming, and he held out until he could find the right deal to actually play it in theaters. I think filmmaking, and I think film fans should be incredibly grateful that he did. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.